afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Familiar approach between the southeast. We got here SteffenBK fighting for Germany, Deutschland, the Oberkommando West, rolling out here with the 7th Panzer Division from the northwest. We got Aimstrong fighting here for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin, and the 9th Guards Tank Corps. We got here Elite Armor, Spec Ops, and Breakthrough with Triple Infantry for Steffen versus Aimstrong's Advanced Warfare, Guard Motank, Guard Rifle with Machine Gun, Guardsman, and Infantry Bund. We got a Triple Engineer style here for Aimstrong, Battle and Language. Sees a lot of territory versus Steffen. Following up the supporting companies can then use Imagine Maximus to back up all of the territory gained in the early game. Steffen here with also a bunch of infantry that's going to put some pressure on the engineers. Of course, if Aimstrong just sees enough, avoid mostly engagements here against Steffen, and then follow up with the Maximus, he should have a chance. Of course, it will require some pretty sharp footwork here for Aimstrong. We can see the Steffen quickly digging in by the eastern fuel point, moving towards the centre victory point, and heading for the southern fuel post rather with the Sturmpioniere, the Sturmgewehrs, ready to cut apart any Marxists they might see. And we got there a maximum on the way there for Aimstrong, as more or less predicted. It would be pretty silly for him to go for mortars in this circumstance. Third Fulton's got on the way there for Steffen. Engineers moving for the fuel here. Not fuel, but point there. Probably not going to go straight forward. I imagine Aimstrong's just going to try and grasp much territory on the periphery of the map until he gets to begin, making more decisive engagement using the max, but that way suppress Steffen's troops fast. We'll have to see how Steffen responds to this sort of maximum heavy play here. I mean, if he's going to go for a lot of engineers maxims, he's very likely going to go for Doctrine with Guardsmen, meaning Advanced Warfare is probably out, since that's more towards just conscripts. So, Guardsman is likely to appear on the horizon, and I mean, we still consider the two Guard motives probably more likely, since again, this one has some stuff more infantry oriented, that is conscript, whereas this one allows you to just rely largely on Guardsmen, go on some home mortars, and then maybe some T-55s down the road. Second action right there for Aimstrong, though. Got Fulton engaging the engineers at max range. He should probably just close in, but here we can see he's sort of trying to be greedy. He wants to defend the fuel point, but also wants to grab the victory point, and thusly ends up, well, not really being able to defend the fuel point. This is basically a case of greed from Steffen. Obviously, in this case, with Maxim up, they will be able to do it successfully anyways, at least two successfully. Right here, he's just losing the fuel point without really defending it, so it just sort of ends up taking some damage and not achieving too much. We got Fulton staying back, he could hit the cuff point there. Storm Pioneer is standing ready as well. Second Maxim out here for for Aimstrong. Fourth Fulton actually, for Steffen. Shots fired here. Engineers taking some damage. Also, we got Fulton engaged up in the Maxim. Being charged here by the engineers. Need to retreat the Fulton squad. And could pop an incendiary grenade here, but does not. He's going to have to fall back. Oh, there we go. Incendiary grenade on the engineers. Start the more Fulton pushing in. Engineers being forced out. But second Maxim with the Fulton going to do is track around there for Steven's got likely the battle group headquarters. Could push for a Flak half tech here. With a lot of Maxims about, he could consider maybe some light infantry guns that would provide artillery pressure versus Aimstrong's forces. We shall see what it ends up with here. We're trying to keep up the pace here, outmaneuvering the Maxims. So far, reasonably well succeeding here though versus Aimstrong, who is struggling a bit there. We got a third Maxim though for Aimstrong. Third Maxim. Battle group headquarters not yet going up there for Steffen. Good shots fired. The engineers almost wiped out. Oh, we could see a wipe, and really close. Storm Pioneers, they're flanking up, forcing the Max to reposition to deal with that threat. Very good work. Does not get the engineers, does he? Bit lucky there for Aimstrong. There we go. Wipe them, conceal the flamethrower. Back here, troops reinforcing healing, grabbing the fuel point here. Maxim being pursued aggressively. And there you go, force away. We got the third Maxim there ready. He's probably going to either rockets that or not. Anyways, quick thanks here to Alexander for donating to support the Propagandacast, by the way. Most appreciated. A big thanks to Lee for pledging on Patreon and supporting the Propagandacast that way. You're both wonderful people and allow me to be, amazing at what I am doing. And, actually allow me to do it in the first place. And I can't do it without such generous financial support from the fans. So, big thanks to you. If you wish to support, links in the video description. Anyways, we got Fulton Gaming Engineers here. We got a bit of fighting about here. Up north, troops standing about here. Looks like Steffen is waiting Aimstrong's next move. He could be consider laying down some mines with the Sturmpioniere. There we go. Fulton's Engineers here. Flank for us out. And a Brandhandgranate there against the Maxim. The Germans have probably used their own version of the Molotov, which they called a Brandflasche. So I'm pretty sure the Brandhand Granate there was in fact incredibly rare. At least there's not a lot of sources on it. We got jump being suppressed, the maximum flame for units nearby as well. That's going to be a retreat there, I think, for Steffen. Up north, point secured. And we got this as 3 out there for Aimstrong. He's pretty much predicting here that Steffen's response to all of this will likely be a Flak half-track. And thusly, you know, Aces 3 is going to be pretty handy. And yup, we got the Flak half-track now for Steffen. And the 7th Panzer Division. Fultz does the maximum at max range, got the flame units flanking in, and he quickly retreats there. Fultz is ready with their Russian flamethrower, which is a fun fact, was actually disguised as a rifle, at least sort of the flamethrower spewing part itself. The backpack was not, though earlier models of it actually was also meant to just look like a regular backpack, so you know they'd be less obvious targets than be troops, since they obviously did not want to be anywhere near a flamethrower. Fun fact. Flak half track there, slowly done. Almost down there. Fultz pushing up. We can see 7 just keeping up. They got March there from Aimstrong though. Very good. Fultz have been retreated. Heading fire there from Aimstrong's Maxim machine gun. Done well, Jürgen. It's perfectly safe. I mean, sure, we shot at the guy wielding it before, but it's not like well, ignore the parts that's leaking. It's you know, perfectly safe. You know, perfectly safe. Just look. Ignores my legs on fire. Just, you know, trust me. Pushing in there, a lot of maximum fire here from Aimstrong. Steffen there with Flak half take out. I mean, this is really the sort of, you know, scenario where Line Figure 2 would really be, you know, helpful for Steffen here to sort of try and counter all of this, or at least have a better chance versus it. Smoke screens would be really just helpful in just negating the maximum just by blasting from max range. Flak half need to fall back before losing that to the Sis-3. That'd be pretty painful here for Steffen in the early game, and he almost got the maximum there. He would steal that. That'd be huge, and he does it, the cheeky bastard. They need to retreat before it bombards it with the Sis-3. Oh, he doesn't have the munitions. But still, that's a pretty good catch there by Steffen. That was a pretty good catch. He remains in control of the map. Got a fat victory point lead over Aimstrong here. No doctoral choice for Steffen. And, you know, no light infantry guns. Even some empty fed force to sort of help assist, slow down Aimstrong's advances. Right now, Aimstrong seems to focus on the center. Needs to be a bit careful about that. Could backfire on him. Like that, for example, it does push back the Flak half tech. His maximum almost got annihilated by the 251-17. That would have been rather unpleasant there for Aimstrong if he'd lost that one. Would have made it easier for Steffen to push through. We got the first guard drive scored out. That's going to make it harder for the Flak half tech to set the front line easily. Plus, of course, makes things harder for Steffen's troops as well. Medics on the way there for Steffen and the 7th Panzer Division. Maximum setting up here for the German army. Going to try and open up the guardsmen, except they get away a bit too fast. Ah, verdammte Russen. Stay here and die, would you? I don't think it works that way, Helmut. You know, they don't want to die. Say what? That's not what the propaganda tells us. Yeah, well, it's called propaganda for a reason, you know that, right? Nine? And he was grabbing the fuel point up here. Figuring out the Flak half track. Fultz moving in here, going to hit the fuel point there. Nothing further going on in Aimstrong's base as of yet. He could try and push for a light tank, or he might try and just stall here for the T-35. Flamethrower versus Flamethrower. Fultz having the advantage due to overall larger squad numbers. Flak half track joining in the fun as well, though quickly disengaging from the fun shortly after. And there goes successfully within the northern fuel point. Digging in by the southern one. Very good, sehr good. And there you go, guardsmen rushing forwards. Grenades clenched tightly in their hands. Oh, not Dimitris, there's obviously, he's dead. Ends up retreating here. Troops enemy enforcing. March with the kitchen away the Steel Pines. He's obviously worried about Aimstrong mining. We got this 3 bombardment there that flies rather off the market. Or target. But the market. Holy hell, that was a really terrible one there. That was quite a flub. But there you go. Fultz is charging forwards into the Maxim. Very heroically, but also rather foolishly. They need to retreat, and the Flak half tech should also, I think, reconsider its current position. Oh no, he keeps firing! He keeps firing, you silly sod! Oh dear, that was close. There we go. Finally, light infantry going out here for Steffen and the 7th Panzer Division. We got the T7 over there for Aimstrong and the 9th Guards Tank Corps. Steffen then remains to control the map here versus Aimstrong, really keeping on the defensive, really keeping pressure up on him, and also denying him a lot of resources. Though at the same time, he's still getting more fuel here than Steffen. Interesting enough, despite it would rather seem like Steffen's got more than that, but Aimstrong clearly has just got enough more points to sort of pull through there. So that's actually a bit interesting to note. Of course, they're being suppressed here by the Maxims. The 3 there also certainly proving to be a nuisance, and there you go, heading north through there. Sehr good, sehr good. Oh, well, good. Running the Flak half-track's going to try and sweep out those Maxims. Now spotted, and the Maxim also spots the Flak half-track, deciding it's got better places to be. Unfortunately, we need reinforcements, since once more it's his flamethrower guy who's alive. Yes, he keeps saying it's unsafe, but who's laughing now? Ha! I don't have any friends, they're all dead. So that's actually not funny. Gonna have to pop smoke there. The T-70 keeps missing the Flak half-track. No smoke yet. He might, of course, try and bait it into the Fulton's Panzerfaust. There we go. At least the Fulton ensure the T-70 does not pursue the 251-17 there. Northern punch being secured. Grabbed by Aimstrong on the motherland. Maxim firing in the troops around to up the centre here. Tearing into them. Certainly dealing some damage to the Maxim crew. Flak half going to need some repairs, and the south got full thinking about. Interesting to note, he's not going for a lot of assault rifles. He still hasn't chosen a doctrine either. I definitely think Steffen needs to consider going for a doctrine soon. I mean, he could go for elite armor, boost his armor. Sturm Tigers could be quite helpful dealing with support weapons here that Aimstrong's relying heavily on. Spec Ops with assault rifles, infiltration attacks would be pretty solid. Breakthrough, Panzer Fusiliers, Storm Officer, breakthrough tactics, all useful. But I do think she's either for Spec Ops here or elite armored. Maximus the Fultons out in the open, negative cover in fact, Brandhand Granate off. Grabbing the northern victory point national for Germany. Maxim pushed out into the opening of the T-7 light tank. Academy on the wing note Steven's first gone for that now. He's some time off though from getting any medium armor right. In the meanwhile though, not much going on in Aimstrong's base. He's up healing reinforcement. He's actually learned a lot of things. He's down to just 2 Maxim and a guard squad. In that regard, he does have a notably smaller force than Steffen, and largely I think relying on the T-7 right now to maintain some kind of map control, since Steffen can't easily deal with it, and the T-7's impact is quite sizable for its size. Got the Flak half-track pursuing here. Shots firing. Some are penetrating though, some are penetrating. Slightly, but they are penetrating. Forces moving in and getting the Maxim out in the open. Actually doing it though with a Flak half-track, taking it down to half health. That's actually kind of impressive though, the Flak half-track. Fun fact about the T-70, the Russians, there was a certain faction that producing T-60s. When they told us to switch over to the T-70, they actually didn't want to do it. Instead, they proposed a modification of the T-60, which they called the T-45, which used the same gun and even more or less the same turret, just had the same turret ring. And apparently, someone actually thought that kind of worked and proposed it actually being allowed for production. I don't know what happened after that, but I think they haven't heard about the T-45. I don't think it caught on. Flak being dealt here with the Maxim Gaspin field gun as well. But quite a loss there though for Steffen losing his Flak half-track. That's going to make it easy for Aimstrong to move across the map here, which is obviously not what he wants. He also got more mines from Aimstrong up north. Very good for him. Deeper light machines up finally. Aimstrong though I think should consider some more infantry at the very least. As for Steffen, orbs are done with it, be sort of reasonably helpful. No light infantry gun, or just, you know, holding on to enough fuel to push for a Panzer IV fast. But he's got Aimstrong down there to 200 victory points. That is pretty solid there for Steffen and the 7th Panzer to be shown. I mean, he's at 488. That's pretty amazing. Sturmpanzer being pushed back here with the Guardsmen and Veterans T2. And wiped. Well, that's quite unpleasant there for Steffen, actually. That's an infantry loss. On top of the Flak half-track loss he's just suffered. He goes for those Sturmpanzer squad for repairs opposite. That makes a lot of sense. If he plans on any armor soon enough, which I imagine he is. Otherwise, he really, I think, would have benefited, you know, from an orbital Dardan squad. A light machine gun series. Oh, he's gone for spec ops. In which case, in for assault rifles. I mean, it's also not a bad choice. They're not quite as long range. Holy smokes! Almost got the maximum there with the line for gun. Grenades being chucked. Some landing in the house right next to it. Jürgen, how are you throwing? I just throw it higher or walk on the other side of the house, you dummkopf. Who throws it directly at the house? My God. Is everybody from Baden-Baden like you? And he's back here, troops reinforcing. Sturmpanzer is good to go. Aimstrong is super low now. He sounded like Guard Squad, and you just got a maximum field gun in the T-70 versus like Lightning gun on the Academy for 2 maximum Sturmpanzers and a lot of Fultz grenadiers, and soon as them go for armor. Like, this is not looking massively encouraging here for Aimstrong. This is hanging on barely. Again, the T-70 is really carrying him hard here. Partly because, again, Steffen has struggled to counter it. I mean, doesn't hurt that the T-70 is just also straight up amazing. Almost taking out like Ken on its own. Gets Panzerfaust, is forced away. Steffen needs to put more pressure on the south. He needs to keep pressure up on the victory points. He needs to just force Aimstrong into making ill-conceived decisions as much as possible here. And there goes his 3 fires. Otto gets blown to bits. Back here healing reinforcement. Close to it. 3 in the south. He got Fulton against the guardsman. We're going to grenade off. Oh, nicely timed! Almost wipes the entire Fulton squad. That was one hell of a grenade that plus hit the dirt there on the guard, of course, makes it more lethal. He's going to get the wipe, I think. Oh no, he gets away. That was close, but that was an amazing throw of the grenade there by Aimstrong. Absolutely amazing. Outstanding. Mine hit there. Trying to rush the position here, halted. T-Fed falling away there for Aimstrong, and the 9th Guards tank core. Guardsman falling up. Steffen is not aiming for a Panther. I think he's going for a Panther, possibly anticipating, though, T-35s or anything bigger. He wants the Panther. The Panzerkampfwagen 5. Kruppstahl. Guardsman there, though. Finding hitting the dirt is not what happened in that match, but in this case, like maximuming in, should probably hit the fuel point. Oh, well, Steffen still maintains map control, but Aimstrong is beginning to hurt him a bit more and more. And that T-70, I think, is a large part of it. I mean, really do not underestimate a T-70. Those things can really hurt you fast. But we end up in a situation where Steffen, despite having, I think, more on the map control to an extent, though not quite good fuel control, ends up with the tank later out than the guy who's sort of been controlling. And there you go, T-Fed rather arrives there for Aimstrong and the 9th Guards tank corps. Maxim suppressing Maxim. While another Maxim then says up. Nope, not to suppress the other Maxim. In fact, the first Maxim set up to suppress the other Maxim. T-Fed thinking about like Kevin is up to deal with that. Maxim being outmaneuvered. And he goes for the Panther 4 then. So, despite having initially planned, it seems, for the Panther, he ends up going for the Panther 4 after all. In which case, he's actually lost a lot of time. They could let the Panther 4 sooner, maybe stop the T-70 before the T-35 arrives on the scene. And I suppose he might now consider just skipping the Panther 4. Yeah, now he's going to go for the Panther after all. Ah, Steffen. There you go. Panzerkampfwagen 5. Max North here with the T-70 light tank. The T-485 is certainly not helping. And having only one Lekema to really stop that is not helping, I think, Steffen and the 7th Panzer Division either. Troops enemy reinforcing the Kedmev setting up. But Aimstrong is actually turning this game around now. Down to 147 versus Steffen's 488. And he's actually been able to push him largely off the field here, despite having a vastly numerically inferior force. But again, good use of the light tank, and Steffen's, I would say, slightly responsive. Again, slightly unfortunate tech choices there. I think rather contributed a lot there as well. Second guard squad out here for Aimstrong. Can quickly follow up with some DP light machine guns for those chaps. Folks, they need to retreat. Good hit there from the T-35. And there you go. Panzerkampfwagen 5 arriving here for Steffen. Deutschland. So, where's the action? Yeah, I'm ready to blow up some Russians. Where's they over there? Bachmann, have at them. Maxim Garten putting forward. See, I think Steffen needs to consider a different attack angle, because apparently this is also what allowed Aimstrong to just gain a lot of the map back. It was just Not over-focusing on the center, actually hitting here and then just out-maneuvering Steffen slowly, piece by piece. It seems like Steffen's response to this is try and put everything into the center, but that, you would say, laying down a smoke screen to at least, you know, ensure some of the Maxims can't fire at him. Or at least the field guns. Maxim needs to retreat. It's being outgunned by the double Maxims. The light infantry gun is not really helping him. He's trying to flank in. There's just not sufficient numbers either. I mean, there's slightly sort of increased numbers now, but still it feels a bit sluggish here for Steffen. It's sluggish. We'll have to see how that works out. Capturing the dirt, but they're actually close to heavy covers. The Fulton's flamethrower here should get the advantage or benefit there. Grenade! Oh, rise to the Volt Turbo, taking heavy damage. Fulton squad, they pushed back by the Captain. T7 there, opening up as well there. Fulton is wiped. Massive loss there for Steffen. He's down to just 3 squads now. Panther taking several hits, repeating hits, penetrating hits there from the Sis-3, which is now actually 2 T-55 good to go as well for Aimstrong. And he's just not focused on just pushing up here. He's not, you know, trying to align those larger numbers in that sense. Just outmaneuver. Instead, he's just trying to attack for a narrow band of territory, which makes it easier for Aimstrong to defend against it. Another penetrating hit on the Panther. Grab the flamethrower. We got a heavy mortar out here for Aimstrong. That's going to be a problem for Steffen, certainly. See whether he's so far conducting his tactics. Panther lands a good hit there with his high velocity gun against the T-35. But certainly an argument could be made he could just gone for Yak Panther, really want to counter armor, because the Yak Panther just has better rate of fire, which means there will better DPS. And so it tends to boil down to just better DPS, and the Panthers, you know, not really got a lot of damage to either offer versus infantry or armor. So Panther over the Yak Panther might just prove to be the better choice there for Steffen. We'll have to see how it works up. So far, getting off some hits in the T-35, which does struggle a bit with it. Going points up north, and finally also pushing southwards there. Some orbitals done really would be an excellent choice here for Steffen, with light machine guns that could pressure and deliver some good flanks here versus Aimstrong. There we go, heading into the south. Well, we got the heavy mortar bombarding Steffen's central positions. Got the T-55, that's a pretty good kill here though for Steffen. That is a very good kill. Though he still needs to put an end to that T-70 with 14 kills. And Vet's in T3. That's definitely what you call a problem. Up north, got Maxim dealing with the Guardsmen, pinning them down. They're hitting the dirt, but sadly that's not quite working out. We're hitting the dirt. How are we still suppressed? Well, the bullets can still hit us if we don't keep our heads down, so we can't do anything, you idiot. Panther receiving most neat repairs, and again Steffen just seems to focus all of his attention in the center here, trying to attack down a narrow band of territory, which again makes it easier for sort of Aimstrong to hold that. He's not even laying down a smoke screen, just at least, you know, make it easy to push forwards, but, you know, negate the Maxim a bit, maybe an anti-tank weapons nearby or whatever. So it definitely doesn't feel like the most well executed attack here by Steffen. Might be he's feeling he's so far ahead he can get away with these kind of things, but that's usually the sort of stage where then end up actually losing pretty aggressively if you're not careful. Guardsmen remain a threat here again. Hit the dirt on the Guardsmen is actually really powerful. I certainly had some conversation with a friend about it recently. Again, like, a lot of certain players just don't use these hit the dirt abilities. Now on the contrary with the Guardsmen one is just really strong. So I mean, it's great to see Aimstrong just showing how strong it actually is, because it's really allowing his Guardsmen to just take a lot of damage here on Steffen several times. Now he's actually lost 2 full gun of his squads. He's going for the infrared half track, which is nice, I guess, but I think he needs to go for orbital down there, something that can really challenge the, you know, veteran 3 Guardsmen with double DP light machine gun and hit the dirt, because full gun of his won't cut it. You can also soon go for another Panther. Well, that wouldn't be a bad choice against this. Aimstrong flying him with an HD-5 tank destroyer, hitting the dirt there, which has several boosts, including increasing the range. I think the other one is either sort of increasing just their cooldown or their accuracy, but they'll just increase the DPS while they're hitting the dirt. They don't become more survival, that's what the conscripts hit the dirt do, they just do more damage, which is still pretty good when you're a guard squad. Got the HD-5 out here for Aimstrong. Going to take some time to get his Panther fixed up. Again, he needs to sort of try and attack from other angles. I mean, so far the way sort of he's just attacking is again just head on. There's very little maneuver. There's, you know, attempts sort of flanking. which really would help him because, I mean, in that regard, for example, Aimstrong only have one field gun and, you know, field maximum, so a good flanking assault can, you know, really do a lot here versus Aimstrong. But instead, Steffen just, you know, doesn't really attack from a lot of angles. He's sending in the Panther here, which is good. He might be able to get the T-center to finish it off. He's going to lose another Fultz gun to the squad, down to just 2 squads, which is definitely not good. He definitely needs to begin replacing infantry here, and I would strongly urge using orbital Darden for that. Strongly. Oh, he's pushing in the Panther. He's pretty risky. That was the HD5. Pretty risky. Whew. Didn't get the T-70. The T-70 escapes once more. Highly risky, though. Highly risky. Panther, though, is closing in eventually too, which is helpful for it. T-70 with 18 kills. Now the Fultz squad here for Steffen. Sadly not orbital Darden. I mean, the problem with just getting orbital or Fultz in this late in the battle is they're just not that good without veterans against highly veteran troops. This is again where the orbital Darden, well, like machine guns in for the assault rifles, do have a better chance due to better DPS and overall better starting received accuracy bonuses. It's kind of why they're there. So for Steffen to go for just raw Fultz gunners now, I think is rather unhelpful for him. But there you go, grabbing the Maximum Panther running forward. It's going to try and defend the max, but it's just not working out over here. Steffen's response is just too slow, and Aimstrong is now back to having 3 maxims like the start of the game. Also, we just got a large pile of dead Fultz Grenadiers here. You know how, man, maybe, just maybe we should stop adding more men to that pile of corpses. Might I suggest flanking attacks to create Russian piles of corpses? Nine? Oh, okay, we'll just walk over here to where everybody else from our unit has died as well. And Sieg. I mean, he really should consider some other tactics there, Mr. Steffen. He should consider some other tactics. Back here healing reinforcement line for gun though with virtually 213 kills. That is respectable, though there's a still, I think, distinct lack of smoke screens. Distinct lack of smoke screens. Troops healing reinforcing. Mines being laid down. A bit late, I think, that for Steffen there. I do think Aimstrong could also put more pressure in the north, you know, hit the victory point there, for example. I mean, he's not really doing a lot to chip away at the difference between him and Steffen in terms of victory points. As Aimstrong could definitely, I think, benefit from just hitting the northern point. Plus, he would just put more pressure and Steffen to, you know, have to also defend up there versus Aimstrong, so that would be pretty good for him. Almost getting the HD5 here. I think we got the SIS-3, they're providing covering fire as well. What's more, the lack of smoke or any sort of flanking attempt here from Steffen is not particularly aiding him. Is not particularly aiding him. And even with the Mark type, they're sending in the Panther, sending in the Kedron, they quickly wiped him with the Gasping and the Maxim there. Horrific losses there for Steffen. Horrific losses. He's really just suffering now versus Aimstrong. Also, he hasn't bothered with the Panther despite having tons of fuel, so right now Steffen is struggling quite a bit. His tactics and strategies are being just now completely countered by Aimstrong. And Steffen doesn't quite seem to realize, or is tilted maybe, or just refuses. I know there's certainly several opportunities here, but either way though, he just, as you might notice, keeps feeding Aimstrong. He just keeps attacking head on. He just keeps doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, which by some would be, you know, the definition of madness. Panther was close to Veterancy 2. Got some light movement up north, but without sufficient support, I don't think it's going to get him very far here versus Aimstrong. Panther 4 is almost done. Almost done. T-70 is just murdering his Fultz Grenadiers though. Fultz is hanging head on. He ends up just defaulting to the same stuff as every single other time, and unsurprisingly, the results are not particularly pretty for him. They're amazing for Aimstrong, though. Amazing. Like, if Aimstrong was, you know, a company in the stock market, he'd be presenting very strong results. Yes, this quarter we have killed lots of fascists. Lots of fascists. And we are projecting even higher fascist casualties in the next financial quarter. Please give us money. And he's Panther dealing with the Maxim, gonna push that away. But probably not kill it. He's heading down there. Overall, Steffen, though, is still just lacking in a lot of levels. He needs more infantry. And he also still needs to attack better. Right now it's Aimstrong active with a larger force, 90 Popcat versus Steffen 68. And it's not as big as some of the gaps that were earlier, but still, it's not encouraging for Steffen. It is not encouraging. Heading for the centre victory point, they got the T-Feather, we got Maxim nearby with Kedmev as well. Just heading better, he's actually going for the Schwer Panzer quarters. So he needs to clear that out. Artillery fire, Panzer 4 joining in there. Not enough infantry because again he doesn't have a lot, so he can't really rush it in there to support. Mark Beagle there quickly pushing a stop to the Panzer 4 going for it. But there you go, Veterinary 5 Volksgrenadiers. Charging in. Shooting madly. But the guards from there providing ample covering fire. There you go, hitting the dirt. Got a grenade here off against them, but he needs to retreat the Volksgrenadiers before it's too late, particularly the T-Swing joins in. So overall, Steffen is just not particularly getting a lot of plays here versus Aimstrong. Not particularly making what you call amazing progress. Panther moves in, the sneaks off hit against the H-5. More shots fired there. A lot of penetrating hits on the Panther. Forcing it back. Need to repair that pretty schnell. Artillery fire there on the Maxim. And he's about, lost his Veterinary 3 Maxim. That is a pretty big loss there for Steffen on top of all the other losses he's so far suffered versus Aimstrong. Again, it seems like Steffen's just sort of is a bit like a broken record. He's just constantly feeding into the same point. I'm not entirely sure what he's hoping this is supposed to achieve, but so far he's just feeding Aimstrong a lot of experience and bleeding Steffen of a lot of manpower. Don't think that's exactly what Steffen is aiming for. I hope it's not. So I hope there's some kind of change in Steffen's tactics soon. Definitely hope there's a change in tactics soon. Panzer 4 being fixed up. We got a mechanized regular up with possibly some pair pioneers. I mean, I think a King Tiger's too far off. A Stukas Fuss could be helpful. Could allow him to help deal with support weapons a bit more aggressively. Laying down some heavy rocket fire. That could work out if he can contain them sort of properly. Though, of course, the trick is, can he do that? And not all players are exactly that skilled in that department. But he needs to stop trying to push for the center. It's a kill zone here set up by Aimstrong, and for some reason Steffen is very much insistent that he just bleeds himself dry on it instead of just trying to attack elsewhere and from other directions. Like, that is definitely not healthy there for Steffen or the German army. And there we go again. Like, he's obsessed with it. Utterly obsessed. Seeing the Panzer 4 head on as well. Need to retreat the Volksgrenadiers schnell. I mean, the thing is, like, if you just were to consider an attack from here or here, you might be able to catch off Aimstrong somewhat, which can then allow for an attack from here then. Instead, it's just sort of keeps attacking from the same angle, hoping at some point Aimstrong's going to anticipate an attack from another angle and then sort of a large frontal attack to work out, which is again not how those things work. I mean, there's finally a bit of movement here, but again, it's just slight harassment, and we got to find also Stukas on the way for Aim or Steffen. And another push head on with the Panther 4. Now, it seems like he's trying to win a war of attrition with this, but that's not really how it's going to work, not versus the Soviets. You need to pull off a really good attack and sort of catch them off guard, and that way you sort of land some very powerful blows in this sort of situation. Or at least lay down a smoke screen if you're going to try and attack head on. But he doesn't even do that. Instead, all he does is just feed Aimstrong more and more experience. Panther 4, they're almost taken out. Panther moving in, shoots, gets a goal for a good hit against the issue 5. Halfway to interfere in the Panther. Pretty interesting there for Steffen to get it so far. But he really needs to consider another angle here. We got better feel in the line gun, that's quite helpful there. Gardner hitting the dirt again. Good hit in the issue 5 of the Panther. But so is the issue 5 hit on the Panther. And there goes Sis 3, always a problem. There you go, find the Stukas. The foot's going to try and break up here. Aimstrong's defense. Almost got the Maxim, almost got the field gun, but ultimately not enough. I mean, he got some kills, he got some damage, but didn't really land any sort of wipes. And the field gun and the anti-tank results still remain. Good use of the T-Sim to spot away, which just makes a head-on assault, honestly, by Steffen even worse. So a bit of quad here between Steffen and Aimstrong. Aimstrong regrouping. Steffen, I think, is just trying to figure out what he wants to do next. Slightly tries to creep ahead here, but again, not enough force to really pull through with that one. There you go, push back. Easily here by Aimstrong. Swatting away a fly. There you go, Panther 4 gaining veterans 1 for Steffen. We got another Kedmev on the way to replace the one lost. Not entirely sure what he goes for that now, but I think really needs his infantry. Again, needs something that can sort of really carry an assault. But Kedmev won't do that. So like Kedmev right here feels like a mistake by Steffen, and he's back to just trying to take head on. He is utterly relentless about it. Panther from North as they catch the guard squad there. Gauging it, them without mercy. They quickly hit the dirt against the Panther 4 before realising they got other places to be. In the centre, we got Fulton being surrounded slowly. Panther got to go and Stukas was firing again. Will this be a much better sort of strike? Alright. Did a bit of damage, but ultimately only 3 kills. The Guardsmen still remain, despite having seen all the foliage around them just being knocked down. They remain. They stand strong. And we see the Aimstrong's knights beginning to close here to Steffen's space. Taking advantage was in the activity, but also just continued attacks head on. Almost getting the Panther 4 there, which barely survives the encounter there with Aimstrong's defences. Barely survives. And he's also taking head on here slightly again. Like, Steffen's tactics just don't change. He seems utterly adamant in just doing the same thing over and over again. It's practically a religious matter at this point. Ooh! Lost the light infantry gun. Got the East 5 sort of taking a few light hits. Once again, pushing forward. He's not laying down smoke screens. He'll at least lay down a smoke screen to make this slightly easier. But for no reason, Steffen just keeps running at it like he's somehow hoping something will change there through unknown magics, I guess. And I was just going for what Kedmev was when The issue is honestly all the support weapons and not the tanks. I mean, the tanks can sort of reasonably deal with if you just push away everything else, but he can't. And now he's losing his spare panted quarters, meaning he can't get orbital done, which he's been desperately needing for at least 20 minutes. Oh dear, Steffen. It seems like he's jammed. I'm not talking the strawberry kind. Spare panted quarters salvaged there. Panther very, very close to Veteran 3. Panther 4, Veteran 2, which is also pretty handy. Maxim just basically standing behind and doing nothing. So, when do you think these fascists will arrive? Don't know. Let's just wait. Pushing now against the north, the spare Panther force is gone. Aimstrong creeps in, taking advantage of Steffen's further weakened defences. Very good there by Aimstrong. Okay, with the English 5 is now by the ace level. Eventually frees. Oh my god, gets it with a double cannon efforts. Almost. Not quite. Panther with a Dagging Guardsman. T-Fed moving in, no Panther to support. In addition, I'll enter tank firepower. It's a bit risky here, to be honest. But there you go. He does the job. Grenadier Soldier's going to try and wipe the guards from the retreat, and he gets it. That actually worked out there for Steffen. That actually worked out. But he's low on victory points, so he's still got a lead. Oh, Aimstrong is now going for another T-Fed 5 here versus Steffen. Steffen, again, really needs to change his tactics. He desperately needs to change his tactics. Aimstrong Niemod, I think he's just doing pretty well. I mean, once he sort of overcame the initial hurdle, he's just been sort of taking this very calmly, rationally, not making any sort of big gestures, not trying to play hero of the Soviet Union. He's just sort of slowly but surely beaten and defeated Steffen in detail while just picking up, really good defense in the center and just really beating back most of his, slightly senseless assaults there. Oh, wait, is that actually smoke from Steffen? Yes, it only took him. I don't know how long to have to begin using smoke. Maybe 30 minutes. Holy smokes. He must be getting really desperate because normally players that don't use stuff like this only use it if they're actually desperate, meaning they don't really use it very coherently. It's just sort of like, oh, I might as well try some smoke, and then of course it doesn't work out for them because they're not really doing it in a very well-fashioned manner. They'll just stop using it again until they get in a desperate situation. So looking really rough here for Steffen. To put it mildly. I suppose he could be setting up for a Command Panther, except he's actually now got too many units for it. Panther 4 that went down, he can actually call in the Command Panther. Actually 5 there, ace low moving in. Infantry charging forwards, flanking, Maxims. 2 tanks, and again a veteran, ace level T7 to the ace level HD5. Bad news for Steffen, very bad news. Good hit on the HD5. Good hit in the Panther, T-55 rolling in. Tanks to the base, Panther falling back. He can't call in the Command Panther yet. Panther take a lot of hits here, down to less than half health, but is also close to T4. Shoots, misses. Panther fires off in the T-55. Another shot here, bounces off the Panther frontal armor. Hits the truck instead. Panther misses. Stukas rolling back here, 14 kills. Not the most impressive kill count either. Panther moving up close voluntarily to the T-55. That's rather suicidal. Then getting him up, the HD5 moving like this, as it causes him to be more cautious. Trying to save the Panther. Gets one of the T-55s, gets one of them. Might get the other one here. There goes, gets both T-55s. But he's about to lose the Stukas full shoot to the HD5. And his Panther's almost there as well. But there you go. He's still got both T-55s. That was perhaps a bit overconfident there by Aimstrong. And now Steffen is calling in the Command Panther, the Feds Panther. But Steffen is in a really weak spot. Now he's got 188 versus 147 there from Aimstrong. 187. Sending the Command Panther to T70, shoots and hits, taking it down to roughly half health. We can setting up. Might be able to finish it off. And no, it gets away. It gets away again. Sending the Command Panther ahead, all straight to low anti-tank weapons. What are you doing, Steffen? And the Command Panther went down. That did not last very long there for Steffen. That did not last long. We got a grenade assault in the Maxim and almost worked out. It did force it away, but didn't quite get the wipe. Using the Haymortar to block then to get in tank support. We got more T-55 here for Aimstrong. Now they hit the T-55 rolling in, and pushing off. We got the Kevin covering up the Panthers. Almost done here for Steffen. He's forced to push it in there. For Germany, it seems, or not. I'm against eventually forward, which would be helpful for him. Shoots and misses. Funny enough, eventually forward, making more accurate. The Kevin for wipe easily. Shoots, misses again. Taking to penetrating hits from the Sis-3 head on. Penetrating for the T-55 as well. And there you go. Eventually fall finally happening, but his Panther's almost dead. And there you go, penetrating hit more or less max range, takes out the Panther. A crucial loss there for Steffen, with which he's pretty much got nothing left. And there you go, GG, game over. A huge loss for the German army. A victory for the Soviet army right here on Fimmel Approach. A brutal battle. Ultimately, though, Steffen just completely backfired and just kept overfocused in the centre. He forgot about the rest of the map. He just kept attacking head on, just really allowing Aimstrong to go from a position of weakness. But because he had to manage in a small frontage, he could easily defend. And Steffen just wore himself down, made a lot of, I think, increasingly weak choices, and just Aimstrong did not. So, despite a strong start there from Steffen, he was just ultimately squandered here versus Aimstrong. So there you go. Hope you've learned something from this match. Hopefully it gave some ideas, like, how not to play it when you actually got an upper hand. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. And if you like what I do consider donating or playing on Patreon. Links in the video description. This is Imperial Lane. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow. And see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.